Daniel 6:24b, the second part. I'm going to use this video to talk about this word. In context, it's a Hafel perfect third-person masculine singular from Aleph Mem Nun as a verbal root. And we know this because there's that hey prefix. Now, there's a similar expression in biblical Hebrew. We see it here in Genesis 15:6. And he believed the Lord, and he counted it to him as righteousness. It's that first word. Following the conjunction, it's a Hifil perfect third masculine singular. And when Targum Onkelos translates this, so it's Aramaic, there's a similar word, and we're going to render it there in red, where it's a similar spelling even to the biblical Aramaic word, and it's a match there. A Hifil to what looks like a Hafel. But I want to show another verse, and it's rendering in Targum Onkelos. This is Genesis 42:20 in Hebrew. And bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. That be verified idea is a Nifal imperfect third-person masculine plural from that Aleph Mem Nun verbal root. Now here we have an interesting situation because Aramaic, to translate this, cannot use a similar verb stem because there is no end stem in Aramaic. What we have frequently seen in Daniel is the passive use of the reflexive stem, and that's what we have here. Vayit Haymanun. Now, there is something odd, though, here, and that is, what's that hey doing there? It shouldn't be there if this is pretty much a straight-up use of the reflexive for this word. Well, this actual parsing is an itpa'al td, imperfect third-person masculine plural, from a quadriliteral, that's four-letter root, hey yod mem nun. And what's happened in the history of the development of Aramaic is that Aramaic has taken over this Aleph Mem Nun idea with actually its hey that it would have with a Hifil or Hafel in Aramaic and made a four-letter root out of it. And we see this because of vocalization patterns, as well as here we have that hey that sort of shouldn't be there in a reflexive unless the hey was part of the verbal root. So all of this was just to show we can't assume that something we learn in biblical Aramaic is going to be present in other dialects, especially later ones, of Aramaic. For more information on this word, we can go to Edward Cook's Glossary of Targum Onkelos, as well as Yitzhak Frank's Grammar for Gemara and Targum Onkelos. Let's return now to Daniel 6:24.